In Charleston, West Virginia. After the ups and downs of a tough basketball season, West Virginia and UCLA navigated a 64-team bracket and earned the right to play for a title. The WNIT championship game starts now. Packed house, big game, Pac-12 and Big 12. UCLA visits West Virginia to decide the championship of the women's NIT. Thad Anderson with Coach Sealberry. Coach, thanks for being here today. Great to see you. We're excited about this matchup. And for the visiting team, UCLA, they are propelled by the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year.
She may be young, but she is the undisputed leader of the Bruins. That's Jordan Canada, number 3 from Los Angeles. Canada loves to have that ball in her hands. She's a penetrate, pass first point guard. She sets the tempo. She runs the Bruins in transition, looks to penetrate, and kicks it out for the 3. But on the other side, for West Virginia, you've got a junior, 6'1". Just named honorable mention all WBCA. That's Bria Holmes. Holmes has been in double figures for 35 of the last 37 games for West Virginia. She's not afraid to take the big shot. She's a junior. She expects to win, and she's at home.
Each team has won 5 games to get to this point. Now they battle for the hardware WNIT championship.
HRivieramaya.com. By the Cancun Challenge. Big time tournament, small gym atmosphere, all-inclusive resort. Visit CancunChallenge.net. And by Triple Crown Sports. Destination location, signature memories, professional staff. Get in the game at TripleCrownSports.com.
Mountaineers and Bruins had to grind out tough victories in the semifinals. Starting lineups for this championship: Corver, Canada, Fields, Lavulu, and Costa for the Bruins. McDonald, Stepney, Holmes, Fields, and Montgomery for the Mountaineers. UCLA head coach, 4th season, Corey Close, is heading up the effort for the Bruins, doing a fantastic job at UCLA. Corey coaching this championship on the road against West Virginia and their 14th year head coach, Mike Carey. 11 postseasons in 14 years for Coach Carey. He will lead his team into a title tilt today. WNIT championship game tip time. Where will the hardware go? Westwood or West Virginia? Time to crown a champion. Into the backcourt of the home team, the white uniformed West Virginia Mountaineers. Possession number 1 to West Virginia.
In talking with Mike Carey, Coach, I said, who does UCLA remind you of in the Big 12? And he most compared them to Texas. He thought they were similar in athleticism and style to the University of Texas. So we'll see.
Dry short jumper is short and no good. Empty possession on their first try. Shot by Bree McDonald. Jordan Canada at the free throw line is good. Jordan Canada, first bucket of the game.
And that's what Jordan Canada likes to do. Elbow jumper, penetrate. She's not going to pass if she can get to the elbow and pull up.
Jordan increasing her scoring in the WNIT, averaging nearly 13 points per game. A couple of points better than her season average coming into the tournament. Long ball, no good for the phenomenal scorer, Bria Holmes. West Virginia 0 for 2 from the floor. Canada drives and draws some contact, a foul. It's going to be on the floor, and an inbound play here, the foul. Linda Stepney, her first personal. And Coach, that's one thing that we've seen about the freshman Canada. She gets to the free throw line and causes contact.
Yeah, she really does. She's the type of guard that she's going to go as far as she can in the paint. And if she can't score, then she's going to pass off.
Naira Fields missed it, but Lavulu is there. Shot blocked. That might happen a lot today. Carrie Corver retained possession for UCLA, but the first shot block there for West Virginia. In the semifinals, Lene Montgomery had 8 blocks along with 24 rebounds. Wild shot by the freshman Canada, bouncing around out of bounds. West Virginia basketball.
Well, that last possession, Korver, number 2, she gets the rebound, 2 feet in the paint. Most players would go right up. Three-point shooter dribbles it out to the three-point line.
She hit it out wide, seeing if there's an opening.
You know, first possession or first shot by West Virginia is a three-point shot. And you see where Holmes is. I think that's a function of the 2-3 zone that UCLA is playing. It's good strategy. Corey Close coming down, opening in his zone.
Jordan Canada creating for Carrie Korver, who missed it too strong. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Naira Fields was working behind the box out of Bree McDonald. McDonald last touched it.
4 possessions, and UCLA has yet to set up in an offense. They're going to let number 3 right there, number 3, Jordan Canada. Looks like this first possession, they've really set an offense up.
Inside, tough D in there by West Virginia. Costa's open. Corinne Costa knocks down a shot, and UCLA off to a great start here in the championship game of the WNIT.
Well, Costa may be 6'4", but the elbow is where she likes to shoot from. You see that kind of packed in 2-3 zone. They're going to let those 2 guards on the top cover things up in opening minutes here. West Virginia struggling really to get in a rhythm against the zone. They went against the zone in this morning's shoot around, but a lot of times, you know, teams have preferences what sorts of defense they'd prefer.
Inbound it comes for West Virginia. Going to try again here. Into the game just now came Tiana Muldrow. Tipped out of bounds at the second time in a couple of possessions. Naira Fields has jumped in the passing lane. She's causing some trouble for the Mountaineers.
Well, she kind of has a quiet sort of sense on the floor. She's not real verbal, but she sure is quick. And she uses that speed both ends of the floor.
And Stepney showed a nice burst, but then shot it too strong. Good hustle rebound. Shot won't fall, but free throws for Bria Holmes, the junior, who, as Coach said, was just moments ago named honorable mention All-American. She is phenomenal, and she's 28 points away today from tying the single-season record for points scored in a season. This is a scorer at the line.
Well, look at how dangerous she is. You know, on the missed shots, a long rebound bounces off the fingertips of the top guard on the 2-3 zone, and Holmes is just so speedy. You can't get yourself in defensive position. She was halfway to the rim before UCLA turned around and got in a stance.
Missed the first one. Players in the lane too early, and it is a UCLA lane violation. So a couple of misses by Bria Holmes, but she gets a do-over on the second try.
Well, you have to remember this is not their home floor. We're in Charleston, their home floor in Morgantown, West Virginia. So, you know, getting used to the environment, getting used to the rims. Don't have to get used to the crowd, though, because it looks like they drove down to watch the game in force.
WNIT championship typically hosted on campus, but West Virginia hosting a gymnastics regional in their building, and of course didn't know until late Wednesday night they earned the host of the championship after winning their semifinal. That is why we're in Charleston, West Virginia instead of Morgantown. Home game, but as you say, Coach, not on the home floor or in the home building or the home shooting backdrops. 1 point on the board finally as that one free throw got the 0 off the board, and now an offensive foul that goes against UCLA, and it's Louisiana Lavulu. There's Coach Mike Carey working the sideline. He's not gonna, he's been around long enough. He's not gonna get too concerned too early here, but his team's got to get some rhythm. Now at 17 minutes left first half, UCLA leads by 3.
Well, he's got some veteran players. Senior point guard and Stepney with the ball right there. And he's got a nice bench. Muldrow just came off the bench and kind of willed that one in against the zone defense. They set a little screen at the top of the zone.
Not sure how she converted that, but she did. And it's a 1-point game. Fields hands it back to Costa, averaging just over 3 points per game in the WNIT. Already has 4 points in this game with a couple of baskets, Corinne Costa.
Well, she set the pick and pop. She screened on the, set the screen for Fields. Fields went right back to her and is showing some range there.
Pass gets wide, crosses the line. Canada runs it down. She's got Fields with her. Bounces, low pass, and Fields is tied up. The pass a little offline. Avery Fields was able to tie up Naira Fields, and the possession arrow gives it to UCLA.
Well, that's one thing that can drive a coach crazy. Really, Canada had a 2-on-1 with Fields, one of the best scorers in the Pac-12 conference. And right there, West Virginia forces UCLA to burn a timeout on the inbound play. It's good defense by West Virginia. Corver really didn't have anybody to get the ball inbounds to, but you know, on 2-on-1, you can see Corey Close just shaking her head. It was an easy 2 points that they blew away the opportunity.
You see Carrie Corver there. She's got the blue strip on her shoulder, and you were mentioning moments ago, Coach, about when Corver got that ball inside and ran it out to the line. There's a little more story. Obviously, you imply there the three-point shooting, but that's something to watch out for today. She hit 5 in the semifinals against Michigan, did Carrie Corver. And yes, in case you haven't heard yet, she is the cousin of Kyle Corver, 13-year NBA veteran, his first All-Star appearance this year. Her cousin Kyle has an NBA record. He said it, 127 straight games with a 3. She's a lot like her cousin.
Oh, she is. She's a pure shooter, shooting 50% in the WNIT over the last 5 games. And this is a 6th game in 16 days. That's a lot of basketball. But she had 2 ACLs. Tore her ACL in high school, came back freshman year at UCLA, tore her ACL again. And, you know, you got to give a kid like that a lot of credit for getting herself back in shape and being a real producer for UCLA.
One other thing I love about Carrie Corver, the Bruins do a personality award vote in their team, and Carrie won the following awards as voted by her team: best student, most respected, hardest worker, and most inspirational. I mean, how about the quintuple list of awesome right there? I want to be, when I grow up, I want to be Carrie Corver.
Yeah, she's best all around. But, I mean, that's tough. 2 ACLs, those are at minimum 9-month rehab. To come back, you got to have a lot of passion. You have to have a lot of commitment. Plus, she's an outstanding student. Plus, she's got a few offensive rebounds here already tonight.
So out of the timeout forced by the tough West Virginia inbound defense, and again tough on the ball. UCLA does get it in. It's Lajane Drummer who is in on the floor along with Costa and Canada and Corver and Fields for UCLA. The 5 out there on this possession. Canada hesitation dribble, shoots, too strong, bouncing rebound. Costa had a chance. Stepney grabs it. Costa fouled her.
Yeah, Costa tried to reach in both hands and tie up West Virginia on that loose ball. I tell you what, coming out of that timeout, Mike Carey told his team to step up on the on-ball defense.
It is 6-3 UCLA, just underway in the WNIT championship game. West Virginia has the ball after a break. Has the lead just underway in this WNIT championship game. The WNIT relies on Vista Travel for all of its airline needs. Over 40 years of experience working with collegiate teams. When you need a professional, call Vista Travel. Experience, reliability, and value make our services hard to beat. Travelwithvista.com. Back in play comes the basketball. West Virginia down by 3 with possession. Stepney into the corner. Shot on the way is no good. Missed by Tiana Muldrow. Run down opposite corner by the Mountaineers.
I tell you what, West Virginia all over that offensive board, and that's what UCLA, you know, they choose to go with the 2-3 zone. I think that's great strategy. They've stuck in the 2-3 zone after the timeout. They're going to have to rebound out of it. West Virginia is so dangerous on the offensive boards. 3rd time
Naira Fields has deflected a pass, once for a steal, twice out of bounds, but Fields is picking up telegraphs. There's the opposite Fields, and that's Avery for West Virginia. The senior from Murray, Kentucky knocks it down. West Virginia back within 1.
Very poised, very smooth in the post. Took her time, just kind of stepped back and hit the turnaround jumper. That's the shot they wanted against the zone.
Naira Fields through 3 defenders and a little deflection. Canada picks it off. She's fouled. She'll shoot a couple of free throws. That, well, let me ask you this, Coach. If that is what starts happening as far as pace and style of play, who does that favor?
Well, I think both teams are capable of running, but, you know, what you see is Canada just in a 1-player press right here. She turns around. Everybody, all the other blue jerseys are running with their back to the ball. Not Jordan Canada. She's got her eyes facing the passer, steps up, draws the foul, and knocks down the first free throw. I tell you what, I am impressed with Jordan Canada. As you mentioned in the open, she's the freshman of the year in the Pac-12 conference. That bodes well for the UCLA Bruins in the future.
Lene Montgomery picked up the foul. her first. Canada good at the free throw line. Kelly Hayes, a freshman from San Jose, just checked in for UCLA. Some pressure from the Bruins, who lead by 3.
Well, they're going to go zone. They go 2-2-1 zone. Now they're back 2-3. Quick hands. You know, they've got a quick top of that zone with Canada and Fields. It's going to be the second shots. Once again, it's going to be the second shots that are so critical for UCLA when Lene Montgomery, who got 24 rebounds against Temple in the semifinal, UCLA is going to have to find a way to block him out.
LaJaunie Drummer, the foul. Her first. Ball will stay out of bounds here. Deflected and stays with West Virginia. Avery Fields found herself open again. Missed the shot on the previous attempt for West Virginia, but Avery has had some opportunities and is getting opportunities offensively, and she can score it.
Well, I think one of the advantages with Costa inside at 6'4" in the middle of the 2-3 zone. You know, Fields is about 6 foot, so you see Costa, you see her size.
Fields goes to the rim. She's fouled, going to shoot a couple of free throws. Avery Fields scored 20 points in the semifinal against Temple. 22, the game high for Bria Holmes, but it was Avery Fields. Now, Avery was 7-11 from the floor. 7 makes and 11 shots with those 20 points. Meanwhile, Bria Holmes, who led the team with 22, she was 9 of 27. So a lot fewer shots for Fields, but much more efficient here. She's at the line.
Well, it's kind of, you know, she's a smart player. She's a second-team academic All-American, Capital One All-American. And you know, she's an interesting story. 3.95 student, majoring in social work, wants to be a foster parent. Matter of fact, just became an aunt in the last week.
Good at the free throw line. Naira Fields up in the air, got it outside. Jordan Canada handles.
Well, with the pressure man-to-man defense that West Virginia likes to run, it is so helpful to have a guard that can handle the ball at the top. You see the screen coming.
Naira Fields with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Elevates. Missed it too strong. Bouncing around, keeping it alive. And the rebound from Monique Billings. Another freshman for UCLA. A common theme, the freshman status. Billings, one of those.
Well, out of 7 freshmen, Billings, I got to tell you, she is quite the athlete. I watched her in a shoot-around this morning. She is a tremendous athlete. UCLA on the backdoor cut. That was Drummer, number 11, going on the backdoor, countering the overplay.
Now Drummer nearly took it away. West Virginia had some advantage, but good retreat by UCLA defensively to force West Virginia into an offensive set. No transition. Open look for Fields again, and she's good again. Avery Fields getting off to a fine start. 10-9, UCLA up by 1.
Yeah, she's not flashy, Fields, but she's efficient. As you mentioned, the last possession. There goes Canada again. Had the opportunity to go up. Looks like
underneath and knocked to the ground. This is that pace I was asking about. That goes out of bounds to West Virginia with 12:54 to go in the first half. On Wednesday night, West Virginia playing Temple. They were down, trailing, got down by 8 in the second half, but their physicality, their shot blocking, their ability to just physically take over and athletically take over the game. We're seeing a lot of things. It's under UCLA's basket, but they're turning it into a mess down there frequently for the Bruins, the Mountaineers defense. Here's a long ball. No good. Good box out for UCLA by Drummer.
Well, it was a great pass by Fields.
And right there to clean it up and fouled. That was Kelly Hayes underneath. UCLA playing a lot of basketball near the rim so far. As we've played about 7.5 minutes, they've been down in the paint nonstop, UCLA.
Well, that was a great pass by Fields. We talk about Canada, but when you have the 1-2 punch of Canada and Naira Fields, leading scorer for UCLA, who can run the point. She can move over from the 2 guard over to the point, but just hit a streaking drummer down the paint, and then Hayes there for the offensive board.
2 fouls for Lene Montgomery. Lene had the 24 rebounds, 8 block shots, and yes, that's right, 24 rebounds in the semifinal. She is out with 2 fouls, just had to check out. So there's an early development that's not positive for West Virginia. 12-9 UCLA.
Well, West Virginia are awful quick inside. And
ball tipped. Canada knocked it across the timeline.
Sometimes size doesn't mean everything. It's where UCLA is having trouble is those seams right there. You see Holmes driving right. She's going right against that 2-3 zone defense.
Good follow by Bria Holmes. She got her shot back. She's going to get free throws, but first a timeout. Teams exchanging punches. 12-9. UCLA has the lead up by 3. And check it. We're going to go to the free throw line here with Bria Holmes. Bria knocks down the first free throw. That's the 5th free throw of the first half already for West Virginia. UCLA's already shot 4 free throws. This will be the 10th free throw of the game with less than 8 minutes played. They're getting to the stripe. It's been physical and it's been a lot of inside work.
Well, they get to the rim and it's mostly second shots. And it's a lot of Bria Holmes. That's the second opportunity. Canada looking once again for Hayes on the backdoor cut. That time it just was not there.
A couple of times Jordan's put those passes down on the ankles. Tough spots to receive. Fields missed the shot. Corner and in some trouble down there is Crystal Leary. Leary fires it out successfully to Holmes. To Avery Fields, step around, scoop in and good. Avery Fields 8 points in the game and a lead. The home crowd likes it. West Virginia up by 1.
Fields has scored with her back to the basket, a baseline jumper, and that time at a high post, she saw all blue paint in front of her, and she just went to the rim. That's what a senior does.
Crystal Leary shutting down Lajane Drummer. Corver floats and scores. There's that sweet touch from Carrie Corver.
One thing you like about Corver is how quick she releases the shot. She doesn't, her hands are on the ball. If you had I don't know that you could have a stopwatch that quick to even time it. She's so quick on her release.
Long ball on the way. That's good from deep. 3-point shot. Jessica Morton knocks it down.
And that's what West Virginia is going to have to do to get UCLA out of the zone. How fast is Canada going from
showtime?
Yeah, defense to offense and to the rim. Shots in the paint. Shots in the paint by a 5'6" point guard.
Ball poked away back into the hands of West Virginia. Monique Billings got a piece of that. Shot missed. And the rebound down to Lajane Drummer. UCLA has evened it back up at 16 apiece after getting behind for the first time at 13-12. These teams are matched evenly through the first 10 minutes of this championship contest.
But West Virginia can really spread you out offensively with their defense.
Little space there for Jordan. And now on the run, West Virginia bringing it back. Morton, Jessica nearly did double dribble, had 2 hands out there and mishandled. Turnover by West Virginia gives the ball to UCLA after a timeout. All even, 16 points apiece. MSNM presents college exposure tournaments for girls who want to play basketball at the next level, featuring hundreds of teams, hundreds of college recruiters ranging from major BCS programs to NCAA Division III. Play great competition, be seen, get recruited. HoopTournaments.com. Back to action we go with UCLA handling the basketball, and the shooting combined between these two teams, 11 of 31 shots when you add up the work of both UCLA and West Virginia. Cold start on both sides, and it's led us to an even match at 16. No shot, whistle, and a 3-second violation. Turnover by UCLA.
Yeah, and those they were trying to set up Carrie Corver off a down screen, but West Virginia able to switch guard and post. They just switched Fields right out on Corver. They couldn't loosen her up. That was the call coming out of the timeout by Corey Close.
West Virginia has the half-court set. Inside and tipped around off of UCLA. Corver flying through, got a piece of it. It'll be basketball underneath for West Virginia, but just 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, Linda Stepney had the shot. And number 22, she's inbounding the ball right now. She had the shot. Quick hands by Naira Fields, but they're going to call her on that. She kind of landed.
Clothesline came across on Bree McDonald.
I don't know what it is sometimes about those point guards. They're 3 feet from the basket, and they just want to get that one more pass in there. But rather have them unselfish than too selfish, I guess. 7
fouls already committed by UCLA. Single bonus and earning the second free throw after the first shot. 7 fouls at the 9:21 mark. Here's the second for Bree McDonald, the sophomore, redshirt from Lithonia, Georgia. Played at Georgia Tech, then sat a year, now playing her redshirt sophomore season. Finishing that today. All these players playing their last game of the year. Somebody gets to win their last game of the year and take home the WNIT championship trophy.
So you watch Corver. She sets the screen, down screen. She's looking for a screen, didn't get the screen.
Inside it goes over the back, poked away. It looked like that was Leary. It's Crystal Leary, the senior, her first foul, and that's 4 fouls, 4 team fouls for West Virginia.
Well, Billings did a great job ducking into the paint. Again, looking for Corver. That'll be a foul on Holmes, reaching over the back. Billings was posting up. Corver looked in, and Billings, much to the chagrin of the crowd, she's gonna pick up that foul.
First foul for Bria Holmes, just her first. Checking out is Monique Billings. Lajane Drummer checks back in for UCLA. Heavy rotations for Corey Close and the Bruins. There's a long ball, too strong, way too long by Naira Fields on the run. Up, no good, and underneath rebounding Naira Fields. The breakaway not converted for West Virginia. Canada has trouble behind her, has trouble in front of her, gets fouled. She'll shoot free throws.
Well, you got to give some credit for Naira Fields on defensive transition, because Canada got back, caused the wild shot. Watch the 2 guards, watch the speed. She draws the contact inside. Fields gets a foul, but Canada is so deceptive with the ball. She's able to fake right, go left, while with the basketball does such a great job. And for the most part, for a freshman, keeps fairly good body control.
Avery Fields' first foul just assessed to Avery. 2 fouls again for Lene Montgomery. She is on the bench, one of the starters for West Virginia. Picked up 2 quick ones. Nobody else with 2 for West Virginia. Canada good again at the free throw line. Jordan, the freshman, good there. She'll check out and be replaced by Madeline Poteet. Free throws now, UCLA, a perfect 6 of 6. West Virginia 7 of 8. Talk about the poor field goal shooting, but the free throws falling down on both sides.
Well, when you're in March, I think free throws are going to win some championships for you.
Cutting through, finding space and overshooting. It was Bree McDonald, but offensive board, Crystal Leary. Long ball is up. Holmes, good. Bria knocks it down. And a 3-point lead for West Virginia.
That's a player, Holmes, that won't be denied, because she's gone off penetration, she's gone off offensive rebound, she hadn't hit a long one, and she just keeps staying aggressive offensively.
Some trouble for Madeline Poteet with Linda Stepney on her, gets it away. Naira Fields working her way toward the rim. Fields puts it up and missed it. Good denial defense again by West Virginia, and we're going to stay here. We got a foul, it looks like. Yep, going to give that to Linda Stepney. Picks up the foul. Stepney's second personal now, so Stepney and Montgomery both with 2 fouls for West Virginia. 7:49 to go, first half of the Women's NIT Championship game. West Virginia leading 21-18. I'm Thad Anderson with Coach Sealberry. And Coach, the West Virginia 3-point lead, one of the real keys talked about by both Coach Mike Carey and Coach Corey Close was the play of the freshman we talked about, the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, Jordan Canada. So we kept an eye on her during that first 10+ minutes of the game. We want to take a look at what's going on with Jordan.
Right. Well, Mike Carey said that he is going to absolutely have to stop Jordan Canada. You see her pulling up an elbow jumper, little hesitate, shoulder fake, and gets clobbered there. So she's at the free throw line. There she is going left, and really a nifty pass across. She can pull up off the jumper, but she's got the ball in her hands the majority of the time. A little erratic at times. Sometimes overpasses. Look at that change, misdirection, back it up and under. When she gets a little bit more strength, when Jordan Canada gets to the point where she's in the weight room in the off season, she's going to be a phenomenal guard on the West Coast. 8
points for Jordan Canada of her team's 18 right now, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. The freshman storyline for for UCLA, of course, a big one, but for West Virginia, Bria Holmes is the one we talked about, and she just got some points moments ago on that long 3. But West Virginia, for what you're seeing early in this game for their championship push, what have you seen in the first 10+ minutes for the Mountaineers?
Rebound, rebound, rebound. That's what I've seen out of West Virginia, because UCLA, you know, I've said this, and then if they're in this 2-3 zone, they're going to have to block out and get bodies on the UCLA, on the West Virginia Mountaineers.
I was mentioning the field goal shooting. If you look back to the semifinal for West Virginia against Temple, the combined field goal shooting, Drummer's free throw, no good. Bodies down in the paint, and out of bounds it goes to West Virginia. So, Coach, in the semifinal win for West Virginia over Temple, Temple and West Virginia combined to hit 43 shots on 135 field goal attempts in one game. 135. They shot 32% combined. West Virginia doesn't mind playing a low field goal percentage game. You just mentioned boards. They'll just go hit the rebounding hard and find their way that way underneath. And no good for Holmes. UCLA corrals it.
That was a nice save by Hersler, the freshman from Sweden. You see her out top, number 24, Swedish player. With the brace on. She had an ACL tear in her first year. There she is at high post. UCLA likes to run that little Princeton set.
Long ball for Poteet is, again, too long. A lot of overshot field goals today. Don't know if that's a little amped up or backdrop or just launched it, but repeatedly today. McDonald back iron, and Corver's there to grab it.
Well, McDonald, a transfer from Georgia Tech. Boy, is she talented. That player has some ability. You see Naira Fields. She can, I tell you what I like about Naira Fields. She can square in the air. A lot of players don't have that strength to leap and then square their shoulders and hips in the air. Naira Fields is a player that has that.
Open look, missed just offline by Avery Fields. Pretty good shot and a good set by West Virginia. 21-18, teams back and forth. Corver from way outside. No good. That was not any kind of shot clock beater. She just turned and gunned it, decided she was feeling it.
Talk about square before. She squared before she ever had the ball. That's possible. 4
subs waiting at the scorer's table, 3 for UCLA and 1 for West Virginia. So they'll wait to get on the floor at the next stoppage. Bunch of new faces about to join us on the hardwood here at Charleston Civic Center in West Virginia. Shot on the way, good. Knocked down to the outside. Jessica Morton has been solid from long range. Her second 3 of the game.
That's what makes Jessica Morton valuable. She's come off the bench and hit 2 threes, and when you play 2-3 zone, you know, you can talk about rebounding, you can talk about free throws. At the end of the day, psychologically, you have to hit some shots, and that's what Morton has been able to do for West Virginia.
Fields dribbling around a screen by Drummer to the floor, but she kept her dribble inside. Good body position and the finish for the Swedish player Coach is talking about, Paulina Hersler.
And Hersler is a small forward, so she can post up a smaller player at 6'3". She doesn't really like to post up. A lot of European players would prefer to be on the perimeter.
Foul now. Ball got loose. Good hustle on the floor by LaJeanne Drummer, and she was fouled by West Virginia's Bree McDonald. Well, here come all those subs for West Virginia. They're checking in Tiana Muldrow. She is in. And for UCLA, Jordan Canada checks in. Kelly Hayes checks in, as does Corinne Costa. Costa, the senior, is back on the floor, the inside player. And at the line, into the single bonus also, UCLA. Drummer knocks it down. So West Virginia has committed 8 fouls now, and UCLA has committed 7 free throws the rest of the way. 5 minutes, 1 second left first half.
It's one thing to hit free throws when you're ahead. It's another thing to hit free throws when you're behind and you're on the road, and it's a hostile crowd, and you're a freshman. So two shots right there by Drummer. 2-point game. That's good stuff.
Morton, they're going to guard her now outside. She's 2 for 2 from deep. Loose ball is cleaned up, and a shot try for Avery Fields. Wanted the foul. UCLA takes the ball.
That was a nice job by Costa. She's a presence in the middle of that zone. She gets a little breather, comes back in, and immediately makes a defensive play in the middle of the zone. What I tell you, what's hurting UCLA is that didn't hurt them too much. They've got to hit that shot. They don't use the glass on the layup, but what's hurting UCLA is the overplay by West Virginia and the fact that West Virginia is switching all screens. They're so quick, and they're all pretty much the same size, they can switch every screen.
Inbounding UCLA under the basket. Full shot clock. Quick shot is offline. No good by Naira Fields in UCLA. Leading by 2. Or I'm sorry, trailing by 2. Playing defense now. West Virginia has it.
So if you watch Costa in the middle, there's a quick hands once again.
Naira Fields does it again. She's had her hand on numerous passes, at least 4 that I can remember.
She's kind of a quiet player, Naira Fields. Comes up with big plays, both ends of the floor, but doesn't bring a lot of attention to herself.
Shot is up, no good from Muldrow, and West Virginia pulls it back out. Crystal Leary.
That's got to be maddening. There are 3 blue jerseys around Muldrow, and the blue jerseys don't get a hand on it.
On the way from deep, missed by Muldrow. A couple of looks for Tiana on the trip down the floor, but 0 for 2 on her shot tries. 3.5 minutes to go, first half. UCLA a chance to tie or take the lead. Canada scoops inside and missed it. Jordan looking to create offense, but missed the shot.
That's the strength I'm talking about.
Holmes on the run, gets it off, and a nice transition to Crystal Leary. Bria Holmes assisting Leary on the basket.
Well, Holmes does it all. She gets down, she's unselfish, 2-on-1. She makes sure she converts, and that's the difference in the game right now, converting on the easy ones, because it's tough 5-on-5, but when you're 2-on-1, 3-on-1, you've got to convert, and that's exactly what Bria Holmes just did and made sure it happened.
Fields slow pace as she worked her way in and still charged. She was going at sort of a 75% pace, not attacking with full vigor, and still picked up the foul. That leads us to a break with 2:54 to go. West Virginia on the run. Holmes dumping away to Leary, and the Mountaineers +4 on the championship scoreboard. Presentation of Fight Night, Glory Super Fight Series. Tonight, 10 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. CBS Sports Network proud to present the Women's NIT Championship game. West Virginia hosting UCLA at an off-campus venue about 2.5 hours on a bus from Morgantown to Charleston, West Virginia. Ball taken away. UCLA on the steal by Monique Billings on the run. West Virginia hustle defense denies. Jordan Canada in big trouble, out of bounds, last touched by West Virginia. And
that's my point right now. There, UCLA makes a great, and I'm talking about a great steal. They're so quick defensively, coming down 3-on-2, 3-on-1 even, and they've got to convert those. They have opportunity, and I think those are decisions. You know, as you make in transition, it's really easy for me to say that with a headset on, but those sorts of decisions are what determine champions.
Credit to West Virginia. They gave the ball away, but didn't hang their heads, got back, played D. Ball shot too strongly again off the iron there, tipped away. Hustle play by Monique Billings for UCLA, but it's out of bounds off of her. West Virginia plays it.
What an athlete Billings is. That was all ball. She came all the way from the backside of the West Virginia player, got around and got her hand on the ball. She knocked it out. It was the right call, but unbelievable. Coach
Corey Close said of Monique Billings, the freshman from Corona, California, the best athlete in the Pac-12. And I think there are other coaches who wouldn't necessarily argue against that point. Bouncing around, no good. And a flat-footed rebound for Carrie Corver. UCLA, one of their last 12 field goal attempts made. 1 for 12 is their current shooting streak. And here, back to the free throw line goes Jordan Canada. She changes direction. I mean, she's going right. She's going on a 45-degree angle right at the rim. Runs into the white jerseys and can stop on a dime, change direction, and draw the foul. Great play by Canada. She's got to convert. First foul for Jessica Morton. 9 fouls for West Virginia. Last, well, this would be 2 shots on the shooting attempt. So 2 free throws from here on out in the first half for UCLA. And for Jordan Canada, free throws now 5 of 5 at the line. Just 2 of 8 from the floor, Jordan, but 5 for 5 at the stripe with 9 points. Yeah, she was kind of fun to watch this morning in shooting practice. I was talking with some of the staff
particularly Pam Walker, Director of Ops for UCLA. Just in general, she's the first one out. She's the first one in stretching. She's the first. She's a tremendous leader and very smart as a point guard.
Timeout West Virginia. Triple Crown Sports is proud to produce the women's NIT. Whatever your game, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, treat your team right with destination locations, signature memories, professional staff. Get in the game at triplecrownsports.com. Women's NIT drawing to a conclusion today. 64-team bracket, and these two remain: West Virginia, UCLA. UCLA actually had a 13-18 record when they got into the tournament. They got the automatic bid from the Pac-12 as the top remaining team not to make the NCAA tournament, and quite a run here for UCLA.
Well, you know, considering how young UCLA is, and the Pac-12 has improved so much in women's basketball. Look at Oregon State and what they have done. You know, typically you see Stanford out in front, and Stanford won the postseason tournament. But so, the job that Charlie Turner-Thorne has done at Arizona State, and so UCLA had a tough go of it in the Pac-12, but they've been able to redeem themselves here in the WNIT.
Bree McDonald just checked back in for the Mountaineers, and Jordan Canada converts that field goal try on a slicing drive. All the offense in the hands of Jordan Canada, and more so with the shot than the pass to this point.
Yeah, and you know, the rest of the UCLA players pretty much right there. There's
good giveaway by Billings, run by Hay. Stutter step scores.
Well, that was a great anticipation, tremendous anticipation by Monique Billings. She just read from the wing on the right wing. She was able to read the pass and step into the passing lane, and again, this time convert. You see a 2-on-2 and convert.
UCLA 28, West Virginia 26, 2-point lead. West Virginia called timeout again. Coach Mike Carey had to burn up a couple of 30s quickly. Wanted to use it or lose a timeout, but then had to come back with another one. And for UCLA, Coach, you were just talking about the Pac-12 and the tough schedule within the Pac-12. Well, how about challenging yourself in the non-conference?
Yeah, one of the first things that Corey Close said is, you know, I think I overscheduled, and looking at Notre Dame, UConn, Texas, Nebraska, North Carolina, all the teams that I'd say maybe so. I think she still has that coach on her staff, the one that put that schedule together. Maybe it was my former player, Jenny Huth. She's still sitting over there. She's good.
Formerly Roulier, Jenny Huth has a 14-month-old son, TJ, on the trip. On our conference call the other day with Coach, they were on the bus. TJ was making a lot of racket. Family environment on the bus ride from Michigan to West Virginia for this championship game. Mountaineers looking to get back even. Do they? They do, off the hand of Bree McDonald.
West Virginia needed that bucket. They needed to stop the UCLA run, and that was over the hand of Costa. It was a tough shot.
4 points for Bree McDonald. And we're knotted at 28 as we approach halftime. 13 seconds to go.
Canada's going to hold it for the last shot. Gives it up.
Out of bounds, and West Virginia denies a shot try on the last possession for UCLA, and now they're going to get 4.8 seconds to see what they can do. Corver trotting on. UCLA sending in Lajane Drummer for this last defensive set with 4.8. Here we go with one crack to take a halftime lead. Knocked away. Jordan Canada denies the pass.
Oh, she kept her eyes
scores.
Oh, but I got to tell you, Jordan Canada kept her eyes on the clock the entire way to go. She made the interception and kept her eyes on the clock, knew she had enough time to get there to the layup. What a great play by a freshman.
Jumped in front of the pass. Jordan Canada, we assumed it would be a possession for West Virginia, but Canada all by herself just smothers the pass and scores. And you see there, proper call, count the bucket, and UCLA leads 30-28 at the intermission in the WNIT championship game.
Well, that's twice Jordan Canada has put her own press on. It just made Steele score right away and convert.
They are reviewing the monitor. They review to see if they score it, but they will, as we saw. So it'll be a 2-point halftime lead for UCLA. We'll be back to talk more about the WNIT and take a look at this first half after this break. On both sides coming up soon, and now we've got another half remaining of this NIT championship game. It was tied at 28, and West Virginia had last crack, but then Jordan Canada did what she was doing all the first half Her team leads by 2. 14 points, Jordan Canada, along with 3 steals.
Oh yeah, the ball does not leave Jordan Canada's hand unless it's going up, as it did on the jumper. Or watch this on the steal. This last possession of the first half, she kept her eyes on the clock, made sure she went all the way in for the layup instead of pulling up. She is a smart young lady. Avery Fields, on the other hand, talk about versatile. Little Sigma move in the post at 6 foot, right over the 6'5" contra. And here on a baseline jumper against the zone, she stepped out. And here, penetration against the zone around Kelly Hayes on the inside.
Each team had 6 different players score. Canada 14 is the team high for UCLA, and 8 the team high for Avery Fields. There's a look at what happened in the first half. The shooting, not hot. Turnovers and the rebounds 21-20. A lot of boards to be had, and they split them pretty evenly in the first half.
Well, we've talked a lot about rebounding, and I think that was my big question, really. Can UCLA get defensive boards? And the player that's come off the bench for UCLA is Drummer. Drummer's got 3 defensive rebounds, and Costa as well. Those aren't the players, those aren't the Canada name that we've been hearing about on the offensive end. The defensive end of the floor has helped really neutralize West Virginia in getting those second shots.
West Virginia has trailed earlier in this tournament. They trailed in their semifinal game. They're a resilient second half team. Their last 2 games have gone to overtime, the quarterfinals and the semifinals. Could happen again today. 30-28, the halftime score. UCLA has the slight lead, but nothing decided yet in this championship. You've been watching AT&T at the half. Rethink possible. In the game, that being the 29th, that free throw. So she had 28 before the foul. She earned a chance to get that 1,000 point. And Coach, I like the point you made the other day. We're talking to Mike Carey about that, about the memories that Emily Lear will now have, and just, you know, even the postseason banquet that you brought up.
Yeah, you know, at the banquet, they'll have the ball. They'll have 1,000 points on the ball with their name and the date and the opponent, West Virginia. And then her name's going to be in the media guide for the rest of her life and for her kids to see and all that kind of stuff. So why not? It's, you know, it's not that big of a deal for it to be controversial. Yeah.
So Mike Carey's working the huddle. His team is down by 2 points at the halftime break. But again, as we talked about during halftime, this is not foreign territory for West Virginia. They are athletic. They are full of stamina. They're going to go at you 40 minutes plus if they have to. They've gone 45 minutes their last 2 games, quarterfinals, overtime, semifinals, overtime. And they were trailing Temple at the half by 5 points and forced overtime. So not at all uncomfortable territory here for the Mountaineers of West Virginia. They will inbound and have the first possession of the second half in this WNIT championship game.
Yeah, West Virginia's not going away. I mean, no team would go away with a 2-point deficit, but they know how to play from behind. The Big 12 Conference is a tough conference. They've been on the road in a tough conference. They've been in some very competitive games. They've got senior leadership. They're not going away. Question is, can UCLA, there's an offensive rebound right there. Can UCLA stay on the boards with them in the second half? There's a second offensive board. We're only 30 seconds into the half, and there's 2 offensive boards, West Virginia.
Yeah, you saw at halftime just a 1-board margin, pretty even in the first half, but you feel like whenever they need it, West Virginia finds a way to go get it. Reach around by Corinne Costa, and the first foul of the second half is against Corinne Costa, and that is 3 for Corinne.
That's a killer. That's not going to help UCLA when you take your 6'4" senior center out of the lineup that can rebound.
And she can't defend where she shouldn't be defending, but she might have gotten ticky-tack there with the conversion by Avery Fields. And the foul will go against Carrie Corver. So fortunately, Costa avoided picking up the foul. She'll get off the floor now.
Right. Well, Fields can put the ball, splits the defensive player right there. But Costa, as you mentioned, can't really afford to pick up her 4th. But the problem starts again, 2 offensive rebounds. So the ball has been on West Virginia's end of the floor for 40 seconds. And, you know, something not very good is going to happen if you're UCLA.
Yeah, too many opportunities for West Virginia. They're going to find a way to finish into double figures, now up to 11 points on the and-1 conversion. Avery Fields, one of 2 players in double digits. Jordan Canada with 14 for UCLA. Naira Fields finds the glass but can't get that down, and Linda Stepney had it torn away by Carrie Corver, who threw it away. Stepney on the run. She's got Holmes with her. Back to Stepney. Missed it. Good denial by UCLA. Tough defense on the run by Luiana Lavulu. Shot blocked up top, but underneath the foul. West Virginia. That's going to go against Bree McDonald.
Well, one player cannot stop Naira Fields when she's full tilt, coming down with the ball right hand, gives a little head fake, and she's at the free throw line. But how about Canada, 2-on-1? You're coming back, you're thinking West Virginia's going to extend the lead. 2-on-1, she's able to make the play, and West Virginia blows the layup.
Naira Fields' first free throw is good. UCLA substitution. Carrie Corver checks out, and in comes Kelly Hayes.
Well, Carrie Corver came out because she threw the ball away, and that's one thing that UCLA cannot afford to do. They only had 5 turnovers in the first half. So
checking.
If they come back out in the second half and begin to turn the ball over against intense pressure, that's going to be a problem.
Checking Naira Fields. I think she might have had a little bit of blood on her shoulder. That looks like that is the case. So the officials need that to be taken care of before they can continue. Our officials today, Roy Gulbayan, Brian Hall, and Infinity Robinson. Congratulations to them on being selected to officiate in a championship game. That's something sometimes people don't think about, but you have to earn your way to an assignment like this. So these 3 officials have done good work this year and have earned their way onto a championship floor. A field goal or a free throw miss, and West Virginia has it. We're tied up at 31 in this championship early second half.
Well, the officials, to the point, the officials have done a really nice job this first half.
Yeah, even the booing by the home crowd is sort of like half inspired, because it wasn't, at times they wanted to be upset about calls. They really weren't that upset. They just are obligated to voice their opinions here and there, and minimal at best as far as questionable moments in this game. And there's a foul called hack, UCLA. That's going to be Naira Fields, and for Fields, she has 3 fouls. A little trouble brewing here for UCLA.
Absolutely, unequivocally. You don't want 3 fouls on those 2 players, Naira Fields and Corinne Costa. And
now a timeout taken on the inbound. West Virginia couldn't get it going, so they call their 30, and that becomes a full to start off the second half. 18:07 to go, second half. We're tied at 31, Mountaineers and Bruins. UCLA worked their way to a halftime advantage of 2 points, but that's gone now. We're back to even with 18:07 to go in the second half. Jordan Canada with 14 points in the game, leading her team. And for West Virginia, they have 11 from Avery Fields, their high scorer. We asked Coach Close about that trophy, and of course over 120 national championship trophies at UCLA. The case is pretty full. She said the most important place that trophy would live is in the hearts of this team. And same for Mike Carey, with the way they've bounced back resiliently from a tough year where they maybe got under expectations for a good portion of it. Now both teams have a chance to finish on a high note and add something to the case, and more importantly to the hearts of this season's experience. UCLA got the ball away from West Virginia, now under 20 seconds on their half-court shot clock.
West Virginia stayed in a switching man-to-man. It was a nice look by Canada.
Tough fling there by Monique Billings. Managed to get that up and rolling around the rim on a line drive shot. She's fouled and will shoot 2. Linda Stepney picked up the foul. Make it Bria Holmes. Bria Holmes the foul, and Holmes has 2.
You know, my pet peeve in life is the bounce pass. Had that been a bounce pass, I think that would have been a layup inside by Billings. But that was a call by the bench, because what Canada did on the switch, Avery Fields switched out on Naira Fields, and Canada skipped that pass right into Billings. That was a nice call, nice play by Canada. 1
of 2 at the line, so instead of the bounce or the non-bounce pass finish, the layup that you requested, Coach, instead of 2 points, 1 point on the 1-for-2 free throw visit. But UCLA takes the +1 on the scoreboard.
More patience out of West Virginia in the second half against this 2-3 zone. Might have gotten away with a travel.
Dribble through by Stepney, no good. Tipped up, no good. And UCLA clears, and now a foul. Fighting with the rebound, Monique Billings had to get a little demonstrative to get the whistle to blow.
She did. I would agree with you on that. A little showtime, but I got to say that she was bumped, and she deserved to get that rebound and come down with it. In terms of, she has got some hops, I'm going to tell you.
Lene Montgomery whistled there, and that's 3 for Lene Montgomery, who's still on the floor with 3. Going to have to be careful. She's got a sub waiting at the table, but she's got to get out of this possession with no foul. Playing with 3 right here, guarding the ball, number 15. Billings scrambles, gets it back to Naira Fields. Fields breaking it down, got McDonald in the air and passed it into the hands of Mountaineers in the lane. On the run, West Virginia. Underneath, McDonald finishes, and West Virginia tips back on top by 1.
McDonald so smooth, the small forward from West Virginia, transfer from Georgia Tech. So smooth along that baseline and using the glass. West Virginia very active defensively. They've got their hands up. They're in the passing lanes. That's got to be the 4th turnover this half for UCLA. They only had 5 in the first half total, 20 minutes. We haven't even gotten 4 minutes into the second half.
Here comes some subs now for West Virginia. It's Crystal Leary replacing Lene Montgomery and her 3 fouls. Carrie Corver checked in for UCLA along with LaJaunie Drummer. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Canada had it blocked. Corver got it back to her, and she's fouled again. Jordan Canada back to the line. This will be her 7th and 8th free throws coming up on this trip to the line.
Well, the fans don't like it because she initiated the contact on the second contact, but on the first contact, she got hammered. On the shot, on the outside shot, she got hammered, no call. So it all evens out.
32. Crystal Leary, number 32, with the 2 fouls now. So a couple of fouls for Crystal. She's on the low right blocks on this free throw try. That's the first free throw missed today for Jordan Canada. Now 6 of 7 from the stripe today.
Well, she's going to get to the free throw a lot because she shoots a lot at the direction of the coaching staff. That's not her. That's the strategy. That's the offensive strategy. She keeps the ball in her hands quite a bit.
Tied it up with the 1 free throw. Stepney up top, quality guard for West Virginia. Down to the right side, baseline jumper knocked down by Avery Fields.
If West Virginia wins this game, Avery Fields is the MVP. She's the quiet, steady offensive player really for West Virginia.
And here is a knockaway, but first a whistle and going to be a foul against West Virginia, calling that against Avery Fields. Possession to UCLA. They'll have the ball trailing by 2 when we come back. Tropical views. Start your all-inclusive experience at hrhrivieramaya.com. Jordan Canada handles the basketball atop the 3-point arc, and a whistle and an offensive foul. UCLA whistled, and it's LaJaunie Drummer clearing out down low. Second foul.
Drummer really trying to get physical down there because they're switching out on the wings, and Canada doesn't have an entry pass to the wing, so she's got to go into the post. So tough call against Drummer. She's a freshman. She's going to learn from that. Your comment, Coach, about Avery Fields, if West Virginia wins this, being the MVP, she's actually led the team in scoring in the 5 games so far of the NIT. Couple of, about a half a point more per game than regular season leading scorer Bria Holmes. Avery Fields has had a phenomenal tournament and having a great day today leading the team. Long ball is air from Bria Holmes and a shot clock violation. So buzzer sounded before the dodgeball was played by Brie McDonald. She did get it off of a Bruin, but the shot clock had buzzed before the ball got out of bounds. Yeah, it was a good thought. She's thinking, arguing too, trying to get that call, but hey, it's a close game. They want this championship. There goes Canada once again to the hole. Back to the line. She's going to go for her 9th and 10th free throws now, and I know for the homestanding fans, they're getting frustrated because Jordan Canada over and over is getting to the free throw line. This time it's Avery Fields, who picked up one just moments ago, now picks up her 3rd as Avery Fields. Well, one of the things about her, she's all right. Well, not all right-handed, but she's definitely going right. And I'm sure Mike Carey is saying, you guys, number 3, she's got the ball in her hand. Take it away. She's going right. Take it away. Right. Make her go left at minimum. 8 of 9 at the line now for Jordan Canada. 8 made, 9 tries. Here comes number 10. And Jordan
If she hits this, I'll wait to say the number. It's 17 points. Going off today, Jordan Canada with 17.
I like her moxie, though. You know, she keeps her head up. She's a competitor, and she plays on the defensive end of the floor as well. She's not just an offensive player.
That Pac-12 Freshman of the Year had 3 weekly honors as Pac-12 Freshman of the Week, and then won the annual honor. There's a check-in by the team's leader, Bria Holmes. The junior puts one down. And now a crash in the lane, and that foul is offensive. Kelly Hayes.
That was a great take. There's no question about that. You know, Anthony Robinson got an earful from Mike Carey at that last timeout. An earful. And but that was the right call. She made the right call on that.
Stepney dribbles up high. 13 seconds and ticking to shoot the basketball.
A lot more motion in the West Virginia zone offense this half than there was in the first half.
Now getting desperate. 2 seconds to shoot. Muldrow. Another shot clock violation. That's 2 shot clock violations in 3 possessions here for West Virginia. UCLA's defense. What are they doing, Coach? They're crossing up the momentum and the ability to find space.
Well, I think what they've slowed West Virginia down. I mean, by staying in the zone, UCLA has not been out of the zone. We've played, what, close to 27 minutes, and they have been in zone the entire game. And
takeaway, and West Virginia has a steal and drawing a foul. Linda Stepney, who got banged in the nose, shaking that off. Good steal by Stepney. Tough play. And she took a pretty good shot. Linda still, she's going to be all right, she says, but she's feeling that one.
We haven't talked about Stepney a whole lot. She's a leader as the senior point guard, and Mike Carey coaching so hard and looked at Stepney at the 30-second clock violation. Yeah, she got bapped in the nose right there. Here's the big story on that for Naira Fields, the junior leading scorer for UCLA. That's 4 fouls. She checks out of the game now off the floor. 4 fouls for Naira Fields. Inside scoop, Avery Fields for West Virginia, and that's denied by UCLA. Corinne Costa working up the floor with Jordan Canada. Oh, Costa with 3 fouls, and Corey Close decided to bring her back in, and that's why, because she blocks a shot. She gets down there. She's in the middle of the zone at 6'4". Holmes lines it up, missed it. Battling for the board. Pretty good work back there, and did she earn it? That's Crystal Leary working hard on the offensive glass. And it's out of bounds off of UCLA. Nice play by Crystal Leary. Yeah, she kept tracking it, and Hayes was really trying to bring it down off the dribble instead of grabbing it. But you know, they're starting to smell it, both these teams. You're under 15 minutes, and one of them is going to be crowned the champion. Good jump in the paint by Holmes, handed it off, and the conversion. There's Crystal Leary again. Big play to keep the possession alive, and the finish for Leary. Leary and Stepney high school teammates. Finish there for Jordan Canada. Must have heard me say she can't go left. She had to have heard me. Just tied her career high, her season high. The freshman offensive foul, Bria Holmes, is whistled. So Jordan Canada now 19 points. That is equal to the best she's ever done in her freshman year. She scored 19 at Oregon State on February 2nd. And now 2 months later, just a tick over 2 months later in the WNIT championship game, 19 again. That foul there for Bria Holmes, her 3rd. Well, not only did Canada go left, she finished left. I tell you, West Virginia has not forgotten the scouting report on Corver, though. Inside, Costa spins, scores again. Corinne, a nice, efficient offensive game, contributing to her team's point production. 6 points for Corinne Costa on 3 of 4 shooting. A nice little bounce pass by Corver. She wasn't open for the three-point shot, which is what she takes and what she likes, but she found her post player. We're even at 39. It's going back and forth, and then forth and back. But nobody's separated yet in this championship game. Whistle, and it'll be a single bonus. The foul for UCLA is Carrie Corver's foul. 39-39, single bonus free throws for the Mountaineers. Chance to get back on top at the line after Costa tied it up.
Tomorrow, 8 Eastern, some of the most influential women in sports head to the Final Four to discuss hoops and a whole lot more. Special edition of We Need to Talk on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. CBS Sports Network tomorrow, 8 p.m. Final Fours unfolding today, tomorrow in the men and then the women. And today, the Women's NIT Championship unfolding at the line coming out of the timeout. Avery Fields, who was just fouled and hits the front end of a 1-and-1. Carrie Corver just picked up her 3rd foul. Corver's 3rd foul sent Fields to the line. Naira Fields has 4 fouls, and Drummer with a couple. And update that, Corver does have 3 now after just adding 1 on. So UCLA, they've got to think about that. They do go deep though, Coach. We've seen them play 11, 12 players in games, so they've definitely tested their bench, the Bruins. Foul trouble, maybe not as huge of an issue as some teams would experience.
Well, I think one of the big problems for UCLA has not been able to get Corver a shot. Another turnover in the second half here for UCLA, but Corver's a big scorer for them. And to be able to find some shots off screens for UCLA to help loosen some things up.
Dribbled away in the lane, but picked up by Muldrow, who's in a little trouble, and gets it up to Stepney. Resetting the offense. Muldrow has 2 defenders on her up top and swing it around. Stepney's going to work corner. 5 seconds to go for Fields. Kick out, shot clock beaten, but the shot missed by Bree McDonald. UCLA again grinds the Mountaineers down to almost nothing on the shot clock. Canada, that's slapped away, and Canada's going back to the free throw line. This next free throw will set a new record for her for most free throws attempted in a game. She shot 10 earlier this year at Colorado, did Jordan Canada. She's going to shoot her 11th right now. Southwest Host Services, the exclusive hotel partner of the WNIT. Nationwide team travel since 1991. Building trusting relationships through dedicated, personal, thorough, and responsive service. SouthwestHost.com. Our thanks to Southwest Host, helping make all the wild logistics of the 64-team tournament unfold. Jordan Canada missed. She's now 9 of 11 from the free throw stripe, and West Virginia hangs on to their 2-point lead.
Well, that's one thing when you rely on your point guard for the 75–80% of your scoring. At some point, that's a lot mentally on her, particularly a freshman, particularly in a hostile environment. But I tell you what, the UCLA Bruins continue to do a job on the defensive boards. Here comes Canada again. Yep,
good board by Monique Billings. Spin, Canada had that swatted away by Lene Montgomery. Now they're tangled up, out of bounds it goes. Jordan Canada on the floor. She'll get up all right. Twisted up with Lene Montgomery. Jordan Canada listed at 5'6", Lene Montgomery 6'5". Giving away almost a foot right there.
Did you see Canada, though? She kind of got positioned on Montgomery, blocking her out so she couldn't get to the loose ball. 4 blocks for each team, and both teams known as very good blocking teams, in particular West Virginia doing a lot of damage with the shot block here in the WNIT, but they're even at 4 apiece as we've been near even on the scoreboard all game long. Right now it's a +2 for West Virginia. Canada gets a defender in the air, and she's going back to the line. That's Jessica Morton on the foul. I tell you what, these fans, I don't think they've ever seen the likes of a Jordan Canada. She's just so quick. She used a shot fake on that possession. But she picks up, crossover, shot fake, and got Morton up off her feet and shoots into her.
Officials looked like they were going to talk about a floor cleanup, maybe. Checking on something happened around the free throw line right there. And, you know, the fans are not liking this. I would honestly say, watching Jordan Canada and the way these trips to the free throw line keep going, it's getting ridiculous, but not in a wrong sense. You don't see this very often, that a freshman, a little guard like this, does this, but it's been accurate calls, I believe. And that one is obvious that she's got to go to the line on that. But it's almost hilarious how well Canada can find ways to get herself to the line. Yeah, she set a new record for herself with free throws today.
And, you know, a freshman, this is a long season for a freshman. We're into April. And we'll see how down the stretch her strength is and endurance, and whether she can endure the physical. You know, if she starts missing free throws, a lot of that is mental.
That's a new career high. She had tied it before those at 19. Now she's got 21, Jordan Canada. 21 points, a career high in this championship game.
And Mike Carey's got to be saying, don't foul her.
She's got more than half her
finish.
team's points, 21 to the 41.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Lob is tall. Linda Stepney gets up to save it in the corner. Down to 5 seconds to shoot. That shot clock evaporated quickly. Spinning, blocked by Costa. Montgomery got it back. Beat the shot clock. Corver tips it away to Costa. Shot block there by Corinne Costa.
A smart play by Corver. UCLA continues to do the job defensively. Tough environment for UCLA. Particularly taking the bus from Michigan on Thursday, busing down 6 hours. It's been a long haul.
That semifinal win over Michigan, by the way, Corinne Costa, as Jordan Canada this time goes conventional field goal style for 2. And that Costa block a moment ago adds to a single season record on Wednesday against Michigan. Corinne Costa set the single season UCLA blocks record at 55, adding to that today. Jordan Canada's conversion puts UCLA on top by 2, 43-41. Jordan continues to score 23 points for the freshman. Inside, and ball is deflected. Foul is committed against the shooter, Bria Holmes.
That's going to be the 4th foul on Costa, and she was working on Montgomery. She's guarding Montgomery, and now she's got to slide off Montgomery. He bodies her, and so Holmes giving UCLA a little dose of their own medicine on penetration and get to the free throw line.
Free throw good for Bria Holmes. Substitution for UCLA will be Lajane Drummer replacing Corinne Costa. Costa, as you said, Coach, 4 fouls for Costa, 4 for Naira Fields, 3 for Carrie Corver. Here's the second free throw for Bria Holmes, who has 9 points and now double digits, 10 points for Bria Holmes.
Well, Lajane Drummer, you lose some height, you lose a lot of experience, but you gain some athleticism with her going in the middle of the zone. Look at her handling the ball out there. She just replaced Costa.
Canada spins, lost it, and a foul committed. That foul will go against Kelly Hayes, and that will be the 9th team foul for UCLA. Both teams have 9 fouls committed, so it's double bonus after this one here. We're doing double bonus for the last 8:22 and under of this championship.
Well, the officials are earning their paychecks today, because we're taking a walk north and south down to the free throw line each possession, I think.
So single bonus here anytime you've got 7, 8, or 9 fouls committed as a team. That's a 1-and-1. Got to make the first to get the second. Didn't do it right there. After this, when you get to that 10th team foul, 2 shots on every foul except offensive fouls. Fans don't agree with the call, and the officials are going to talk about it and reverse it. Out of bounds to UCLA. Nope. Flip that over. Out of bounds to West Virginia. Substitution for UCLA is the 4 foul laden Naira Fields. She's on the floor with 4.
Well, it's a bit of a gamble in a tight game, and particularly with West Virginia being in the overtime games to put Fields back out there, but she's the best. Whoa, we're going to the free throw line again. And really, we're talking about a defender rotating over, planting themselves, getting position, not fouling the shooter. But what happens is the defenders are out of position and they're reaching from behind. I mean, those are fundamentals you learn young in your basketball career, but nobody's rotating over.
Monique Billings committed the foul, her first personal. Free throw good for Bria Holmes, and you're right. It's the right call. I mean, you got to call that foul. Just didn't do what you got to do with the footwork.
Yeah, you're from behind trying to block a shot, hitting a kid on the shoulder. You have to call that.
Bria Holmes adds on. She's now 7 of 8 from the free throw line for 12 points. And West Virginia creeps back on top by 2. Under 8 minutes to go. Hayes flings it up, rolls it around, no good, and there's the rebound, Lene Montgomery.
Well, if we can see an isolation of 22 on Canada, 22's job is to not let Canada next possession.
Fields underneath scores, and that is 17 points in the game, team high for Avery Fields, and that's a +4 on the scoreboard for West Virginia.
And UCLA's turnovers are really starting to gain momentum for West Virginia. UCLA needs a timeout.
Transition basket, matching the largest lead of the game for West Virginia. 6-point advantage. They had that at 5:51 to go first half. They've got it again at 7:22 to go second half. The takeaway, the finish 14 points for Bria Holmes. Southwest Host Services, the exclusive hotel partner of the WNIT nationwide team travel since 1991, building trusting relationships through dedicated, personal, thorough, and responsive service. Southwesthost.com. That's southwesthost.com. 49-43 with 8 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game. It was a 2-point lead for UCLA. A minute 14 later, it's a 6-point lead for West Virginia. An 8-0 run over the last minute and 14. Poked out of bounds. It'll stay with UCLA. That ball denied, the pass denied by Jessica Morton.
UCLA needs to have back-to-back possessions without a turnover. Right there, they come out of the timeout. West Virginia gets a deflection. West Virginia in the second half has upped their intensity on the defensive end of the floor.
Jordan Canada scoops and finishes through the trees. The 5'6" Canada silences the crowd here with her 25th point on a great finish underneath.
Yeah, and UCLA needed that. They needed to come out of that 8-0 run and get a bucket. And who else to do it than Jordan Canada?
Seems like it's going to have to be her down the stretch. Naira Fields, a good scorer, but playing with 4 fouls. Ball pops up in the air, played by Morton's got a jumper with 2 seconds on the shot clock, and a good strong rebound by LaJohnae Drummer.
I like Drummer. Boy, she gets on the defensive end of the floor. She gets on the boards.
Inside finish, good running finish, and she doesn't just board it up. Drummer scores.
Yeah, that was on cue. That's the answer UCLA has got to have on the road in front of this crowd. 4-0 run in not turning the ball over.
Nice crowd today for this WNIT championship game hosted by West Virginia University, and congratulations to both teams on getting here. West Virginia has hosted every round, all 6 rounds now they've hosted. Shot is missed, but offensive glass. That's Lene Montgomery on the boards.
It's a great crowd, and it's great to see the hometown or the home state just appreciate these women athletes and how hard they're playing. They're into the game, and couldn't be more supportive.
Long ball on the way, no good. Bounces back out. Naira Fields has it, wants to push it. Jordan Canada not even up in the forecourt on this run down. She's taking a breather, pumps her fist as her teammate Naira Fields goes in and is fouled, will shoot. Again, double bonus. Each team has committed 10 plus, so 2 free throws.
Well, one thing UCLA has done, they have not passed the ball. And wow, she got right now there. Montgomery got her, but they have not passed the ball. That's her 4th. That's why they're not turning the ball over. Canada to the hole, Fields to the hole, Drummer to the hole. No pass, no turnover.
I want to update you on some foul situation. We talked about UCLA. Now to update you on West Virginia as they check in Crystal Leary and also Bree McDonald, getting a few players off the floor, including Lene Montgomery, who has 4 fouls. Montgomery with 4, 3 for Bria Holmes, 3 for Bree McDonald, and 3 for Avery Fields. So 3 players with 3 and 1. Montgomery with 4. UCLA can't get even with that second free throw. It's a 1-point game. It's tight down the stretch. Just over 5 minutes to go. We're going down to the wire to decide the WNIT champion.
West Virginia being patient. Again, working the perimeter.
Stepney with about 6 to go on the shot clock there, knocks it down. Stepney's first field goal made of the day is a 3.
Well, there's 2. West Virginia taking 2 players to stop Canada. They stopped her. She finds the open player.
LaJohnae Drummer again in a 30-second timeout taken by Corey Close on the UCLA bench. LaJohnae Drummer has asserted herself both rebounding and offensively. 8 points for Drummer on 3 of 4 shooting. A couple of recent baskets here, and she's got her team back within 2.
She's had a very solid game. Corey Close calling the timeout. 2-point game. My question would be, is she going out of the zone? She's played a zone 35 minutes, and it's 52-50 on the road. Will she stay in the zone coming out of this? Because she's called this timeout for a defensive possession, not an offensive possession. We'll see what she does. And the question may have been 22. Stepney just hit a 3. You know, and to be honest with you, West Virginia hadn't shot that well from the perimeter against the zone.
I like your insight there, because Corey Close obviously was ready with that timeout. She got the bucket, and she was just waiting for the right moment to score and then set something up. She's done it. Let's see what they do. 52-50, the count.
They stay in a zone, and she's got Costa back in the game. Her 6'4" senior center, best defender, best shot blocker.
Carrying 4 fouls on the floor, Costa.
She's going to have to play hard, because they've got UCLA's deep. They've got enough depth in there. See, there's the shot block. There's this, but once again, she blocks the shot. West Virginia gets the offensive board. Costa out of the game.
She averted the first foul possibility. They went at her, and the block was clean. No foul called. It was the second chance for West Virginia that just tacked the 5th foul on Corinne Costa. She has fouled out for Corinne Costa. 6 points in the game on 3 of 4 shooting, 4 rebounds for Corinne. And her senior season will close here with 4:31 to play in the WNIT championship game. Congratulations to Corinne Costa on a great career at UCLA. A big impact on this championship game, but she's going to have to watch from the bench down the last 4.5 minutes.
I got to tell you, you know, stats, you can say 6 points, whatever. She's had a huge impact on UCLA staying in this game. She does so many little things on the other half of the court that nobody pays attention to. And you know, I tell you what, though, she blocked the first one. They put Leary at the free throw line on the second one, and that's the thing. West Virginia does not go away. They keep hammering the offensive boards.
Corinne Costa just set a new career record, by the way, with 6 blocks on the day. Her previous record, 5. Costa, who just fouled out, did it in style. We mentioned her other numbers, and you're right, Coach. The 6 points, way bigger than just those 6 points, including a career-high 6 blocks, but she's done for the day.
When you get 6 blocks, that's taken away 12 points, maybe 13 points. There's a 2-on-1 overpass right there. Naira Fields had the left-handed layup. Fortunately for the UCLA Bruins, are going to get the ball back out underneath. Set up a play, watch Canada screen, and then receive a double screen. And who else would you want the ball in the hands of? Korver.
Korver's open. She banks a 3 home and shook her head in frustration. Didn't even like her own shot, but she gets 3 points out of it.
Well, you know, we said last night this was going to be win and ugly, and I think that was part of it. The tail end was pretty nice when it banks through, but tie game, 4 minutes left, zone defense, and Canada gets a hand on that guard-to-guard pass.
Hop inside, missed the shot, did McDonald. Ball tipped around, and there's Lajane Drummer. Been a big presence here in the second half, all game long for Drummer. Down comes Jordan Canada, pushing the basketball through traffic and finishing. Jordan Canada, 27 points. It's by far a career high. Her previous best, 19. Mike Carey is going to call a timeout when they cross the timeline. His team is back down by 2. 3:38 to go.
Well, I got to tell you, they put 2 white jerseys out near half court, and she split right through the middle of the 2 white jerseys and then got down around amongst the center. That was a special play.
55-53, UCLA back on top by a couple. The championship trophy awaits one of these 2 teams. West Virginia down by 2. They have the ball, trying to tie it or squeak back on top as we battle it out down the stretch. See Bree McDonald running back to the locker room. Has been a big performer today for West Virginia. Taken away, Hayes on the run through defense. Finished it. Big basket for UCLA. Steal in a basket, Kelly Hayes.
Huge play by Hayes coming out of the back of that 2-3 zone. She anticipates so well. UCLA has deceptive speed in that back line. And keep in mind, a lot of them are freshmen.
West Virginia built that 6-point lead since then. They've gone 1 of 6 from the floor, and UCLA has gone 6 of 6. And UCLA up by 4.
And I'm not sure, but I don't think UCLA has passed the ball 1 time to get those 6 points.
Another takeaway for the Bruins.
Every single one of them have been off the dribble. There's a pass.
Hayes feeling good, missed the shot. Offensive glass. Drummer. Monique Billings over the back on the rebound. No basket, and it's a UCLA rebounding foul. West Virginia dodges one there as the bucket went down, but Billings had to go over the back to get it. 10 steals in the game now for UCLA after that most recent one. 10 steals for the Bruins and 7 for the Mountaineers.
Well, UCLA does such a good job. They put ball pressure out on the top of the West Virginia zone offense, and then those backline defenders, the wings on the 2-3 zone defense anticipate so well, and that's where they're picking up those steals.
Important free throws here for Linda Stepney, and she is good on the first. Senior knocked it down. Hayes checking out. Carrie Corver checking in.
The other night against Temple, I think it was Villanova, Stepney came in. West Virginia was down 4 points, 30 seconds left, and she had a tear in her eye, and she thought her season was going to end. And she came back out. She didn't want her season to end. She came back out and hit a three. West Virginia came back for the win. So, you know, Stepney wants this. She wants this badge. She's a senior, and she's a captain, and she's a point guard.
Best free throw percentage on the team at 77%. Stepney steps up and hits a couple there. Now 5 points in the game. Jumper, Canada got a break. Jordan Canada missed a shot, but it's Naira Fields with a critical offensive rebound.
Big offensive board by Fields. I'm so impressed with how quick she is to get to the glass. And they're going 1-4 flat, flattening things out. There's a little screen. Canada decides not to use the screen.
Rebound by Bria Holmes. Here's a chance for West Virginia to get back even. Stepney will pull it back.
Big possession right here for West Virginia.
Avery Fields, key scorer today, gave it away to Stepney. Now Bria Holmes, one of the best scorers in school history, can't get that to go. Denied by the UCLA defense, out of bounds. It's going to stay with West Virginia with 7 seconds on the shot clock, 7 to shoot for the Mountaineers.
And this is kind of a short lineup for UCLA.
Officials talking about it. Might check. Yeah, they're heading toward the monitors. They're going to review to see what happened on the last touch. 1:35 to go. Minute 35 and 7 seconds if West Virginia has the basketball to shoot.
Well, they'll inbound the ball against his zone defense, so chances are they'll get the ball maybe to number 23 Holmes and let her penetrate against that zone. I'm sure Mike Carey is setting up something so that West Virginia doesn't just pass the ball around the perimeter with 7 seconds, because they're not going to be able to work the zone offense. They have to attack it right away.
Officials at the monitor reviewing the out-of-bounds play on the baseline. They awarded the ball to West Virginia on the initial call, but now going to recheck to see what they see. UCLA 57, West Virginia 55. The rebounding battle, we talked about that as one of the important game swings, and right now UCLA winning the rebound battle by 2, 38-36 the boards. Here's the officials checking things out. We'll see what they come up with. And I'm Thad Anderson. Seal Berry is next to me. Coach, we talked early about what you're seeing. Now let's talk late. You got a minute 35. You got kind of a free timeout here if you're Mike Carey and Corey Close. What are you talking about? Let's start in the West Virginia huddle.
Well, on the West Virginia side right now, he's talking this immediate possession. These 7 seconds right here, they're key. They're down 2. They don't want UCLA to get the ball and score. So he's talking offensively, penetrate the zone, get the ball to the glass, and crash the offensive boards. Then get back defensively and stop Jordan Canada, make her give up the basketball, make her go with something else.
They will employ whatever advice he gave, because the officials uphold their call, give the basketball to West Virginia. Again, 7 on the shot clock.
And she's going to go to the hole. Well, she does it.
Gets it back. Bria Holmes bounced off a 3. Big, tall rebound, skying for the board. Up tall, Monique Billings.
I got to tell you, that Billings, she can get up, and she does,
dunk.
No, and she does not mind getting hit.
Naira Fields short on the shot. Ball poked back to Monique Billings, and a timeout. Corey Close. Timeout taken by UCLA.
That was a great timeout by Corey Close. A great. They're up 2. There's a minute 10, and Billings gets up and rescues them, because she's in trouble. She helps her out. She takes her, bails her out with the timeout.
Yeah, you see the timeouts left there on your screen. West Virginia showing 1, UCLA showing 1. Each team in the double bonus. It's 57-55. UCLA led by 2 points at halftime, and we haven't changed anything about the math now with a minute and 10 to go. Still a 2-point game. Bruins in the lead.
And I would think if UCLA can hit a bucket here, they ought to be able to hold on, because West Virginia's really struggled with this 2-3 zone defense. But as you mentioned, we've seen they don't mind overtime. They don't mind tight games. They've got seniors. So let's see, ball's out underneath. Korver. So let's see if they set up some screens for Korver. She has been quiet other than the bank shot she hit.
UCLA has only played one overtime game all season. It was their very first game of the year, now playing their 37th of the year. UCLA working a little clock. They'll get it down under 1 minute to go in this championship now at 59 seconds and ticking.
It's just a matter right here. Getting the shot. They're going to back screen right there. What a great pass. Well, that was a screen by Korver.
Billings, late whistle, and I think she's getting 2 free throws. She will. And it's a foul called against, let's make sure they call that on. They did call it on Lene Montgomery. That's 5 fouls. Corinne Costa fouled out earlier for UCLA, and now fouling out is the sophomore, a redshirt sophomore, Lene Montgomery.
Yeah, and Billings is not a great free throw shooter, but I got to tell you, great screen by Carrie Korver. Korver is a shooter. Everybody talks about what a great shooter she is. Right then, she was a great screener, because if Billings hits these free throws, she's got to give a little shout out to her buddy Korver, who got her open off the back screen, and a great pass by Canada.
6 rebounds for Lene Montgomery in this game. Free throw is
Swishes
good.
it. That's 47% free throw shooter. Coming in, kind of hostile environment, and knocks down the free throw. Little cushion. This here will make it a 2-possession game.
3 blocks in this game for Lene Montgomery, who just fouled out. She had an impact, but she's done, and now West Virginia's working without her, down by 3. UCLA defends. Stepney drives in a tough finish. And a timeout, West Virginia back within 1. Linda Stepney has not been flashy offensively, has not been a huge storyline, but when they've needed her, she has gotten gritty.
I got to tell you, I thought Fields got away with a foul over the back, but nice crossover. Stepney gives Jordan Canada a little dose of her own medicine, taking the ball to the glass herself. And, you know, timeout here underneath West Virginia's basket, so UCLA is going to have to get the ball out of the back court. I don't know if we can go all the way back to where Avery Fields got the rebound, but that was questionable over the back.
West Virginia in this second half, just 9 of 29 from the floor, 31%, but they get a conversion here.
That I thought might have been over the back, but I think that both of them were going after the ball. But watch her crossover dribble. She goes right, crosses over, and to the hole. Long step, and that takes some strength. And huge. Right now, West Virginia has got some juice going. They are fired up. You're going to see some defense this last 40 seconds.
Seal, each team has made 9 field goals in the half. The difference is that West Virginia has shot 10 more. UCLA's 9 of 19 from the floor in the second half. West Virginia 9 of 29. And even though they're only shooting 31% here in the second half, they've actually whittled 1 point off the halftime deficit. They were down by 2 at the break. They're now down by 1.
Right. Well, both teams are doing a very nice job on the defensive end of the floor. Sometimes you see poor offense and you think, oh, bad players. But both of these teams are doing a great job defensively. The 2-3 zone is not, oh, Naira Fields goes long, and Korver's open.
Korver keeps her dribble falling down, and now a timeout taken. Korver called it, kept the ball in motion on the dribble, and uses the final timeout for UCLA.
She got lucky. When she got the ball, when Korver got the ball, instead of just blasting up the floor, she looked backwards. She looked back to get rid of the ball. She did not want to take the ball up the floor, and so kind of felt bad for her. As you see,
fans wanting the travel call.
You'll see Korver's wide open, and she doesn't look to attack. She's looking to go backwards. There's no place to go. She trips, and timeout somewhere in there.
And she kept the dribble and then never moved. Once she was on the floor, she just sat. So on replay, you can see not a travel because she didn't try to get up. She didn't rotate her feet around. Rightly so on the live action, though the fans thought that needed to be a turnover. There you see the situation with West Virginia holding the possession arrow. That could come into play. We've seen some tie-ups in this game, and the way these teams are playing, possession arrow might be a factor.
Well, I think Corey Close used her last timeout on that.
Yeah.
Timeout. She had to use that timeout, but 35 seconds is a long time.
Yeah, carried Korver down on the floor. used it up, and West Virginia has also used all of theirs. So we won't have a timeout called in this last 34.9 seconds. They're going to have to play it out. Only way they'll get a break is if somebody fouls out, and the only one with 4 fouls right now is Naira Fields.
Well, UCLA has got to get the ball up out of the backcourt. They have 10 seconds. You got about 5,000 fans that are going to be on them. They tried to blast Naira Fields up the middle towards the offensive end. I think you might need Naira Fields in Canada to get the basketball.
Inbounds it comes. Fields. It was poked away by McDonald, who slips to the floor. Corver holds it. 30 seconds to go. Defended by Bria Holmes.
Well, she picked up the basketball. It's going to be 5 seconds.
Jordan Canada has a seam, dribbles, reverses, and scores. Up by 3, the Bruins. Run out here by Stepney, but Jordan Canada, player of the day, is fouled. Steal by Canada after the bucket.
I got to tell you, that's 16 seconds of outstanding play by number 3. Just watch the entire possession. You know, Corver gets stuck. Canada comes to the rescue. It's a little handoff. Now she does a little reverse layup, uses the glass. Now I think I'll go back and steal the basketball and get fouled. Great series by Jordan Canada.
Here is a free throw, currently 11 of 13 from the stripe, now 12 of 14 and 30 points for Jordan Canada. Her previous career high, season high as a freshman, 19.
Well, we all watch a lot of basketball, but that was the best back-to-back possession I think I've seen all year in terms of score, steal, convert.
Canada knocks them both down. Freshman has been like a senior here in this championship. Stepney from deep, 3 is good. And the Mountaineers back within 2 into Canada. Dribbling through defense, they got a foul, don't have a choice. 8 seconds to go. Canada runs it across the timeline. Inside, Drummer, no good. Clock's gonna run out on West Virginia. They gave up the long possession to UCLA, and 8,403 fans here today are denied a chance to celebrate a home championship as UCLA, propelled all day long by Jordan Canada, champions of the women's NIT with a 62-60 victory on the road over West Virginia.
On CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Hard Rock Hotel Riviera Maya, an all-inclusive experience. Visit HRHRivieraMaya.com. By the Cancun Challenge, big-time tournament, small gym atmosphere, all-inclusive resort. Visit CancunChallenge.net. And by Triple Crown Sports, destination locations, signature memories, professional staff. Get in the game at TripleCrownSports.com.
UCLA locks up a WNIT championship. Last year, Rutgers beat UTEP on the road with a 2-point game, and now a 2-point win here for UCLA.
Oh, that was just an outstanding display, especially the last 16 seconds where Jordan Canada just took the game into her own hands.
For Seal Berry and our entire crew, I'm Thad Anderson. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Reese's College All-Star Game presented by Walmart is next. Congratulations to UCLA.